Hi everybody, I wanted to jump on here real quick to share a little bit about the writing that your child has been doing. So we are writing reviews, and this is our anchor chart that we use from the Teachers College of Writing workshop from Lucy Calkins. And these were some things that your writer is trying to include in their writing piece. And we actually have a model here that is also from the resources. And this was a review about Honey Nut Cheerios. And in this review, there are different parts that the writer wants to include in his or her piece. And you could see that it ends with a conclusion to remind the reader of their opinion. And then it also gives a rating at the very bottom. And we are giving a rating 1 to 5. So if you look over here, and some of you remember some of the other videos that I made in the past, the students really responded well to self-monitoring and reflecting on some of the goals that they are doing in that type of writing. So the first part that their piece will have is a hook. So instead of just saying Honey Nut Cheerios are the best, we want them to start with a catchy hook. And so an example that I just threw up that I reworded from the original piece was, are you getting bored with breakfast? And again, we're trying to encourage them to get their reader's attention. The second piece is about having a what. So not everyone will know what Honey Nut Cheerios are. So the writer needs to describe what their item is. And if your child is writing about a place, then they'll describe the place, such as if they're writing about Wendy's, they'll say Wendy's is a fast food restaurant. Then they have to have at least 2 reasons to tell about their opinion. And we want them to use that language of one reason is, another reason is. They might use some transition words like also. So those are going to have at least 2 reasons in their piece. The next step would be a conclusion. And this is where they want to remind the reader of their opinion. And that conclusion wants to be strong because we really want that person to get our item or to go to our place. And again, I just used a rephrase of the original model that we're using on Honey Nut Cheerios. Remember, if you're bored with breakfast, get Honey Nut Cheerios. And then the last piece that the writer will have is a rating. And again, they're just telling the number of stars that they would give their item or their place. So the writer's gonna go through all here, and you can see some of our friends with their student numbers have already begun this process when I conference with them. And again, they're owners of this, which means they move their Post-it note through this process of their piece. And then I also shared with them that they will use their writing checklist, but they are not always going to revise every single piece that they write because we have a list of different things that we could review. Again, this was just a brainstorm that our class came up with, but they actually have a list in their writing folder of different things that they could review as well as different places that they could review. So they will go through all 5 parts for every review that they write, but they might not always use a revising checklist for every single review that they write. So I hope that helps to clear up any confusions about the type of writing that we are doing.